Welcome to the Diva T-Town. Welcome to the Diva T-Town, where bold, confident women embrace life unapologetically. From love and sex to wellness and reinvention, we keep it raw, real, and powerful. No filters, no limits. Just fearless conversations to help you thrive. Let's dive in with Diva Mia and Diva Cat.
Well, hello, everybody. This is Diva Mia, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about attraction and what it actually means when it gets to chemistry, lust, etc. So today we're going to go over the differences between connection, chemistry, and attraction, and we're going to figure out the ways around dating and relationships because they're not the same. It kind of depends what your end goal is. You need to understand what you can do to save yourself from heartbreak and wasting time, because you need to know what the other person's looking for as well, because they may not be looking for the same thing you are. And that's okay. That's their path. That's their journey. But what we don't realize is if someone else is maybe just looking for a hookup and you're looking for a relationship, you're going to have different competing goals. I wish that there was just a checklist where everybody could honestly go through and say, this is exactly what I'm looking for. This is exactly what I want. Throw it into a computer and everybody would be matched perfectly, but human nature doesn't actually work that way. So we're stuck with analyzing how we feel about each other. We're stuck with trying to determine and play a game and do a dance to determine if, do they like you? Does he like you? Does she like you? It's a back and forth, and it's kind of tricky at times. It's important to realize that the more you learn about what they actually want, the easier it will be to find out if they're the right fit for you. And part of the problem is some people don't know what they actually want. And some people change over the course of a relationship as well. Some people want to stay single, some people want to date, and some people want to get married. And it's funny because sometimes the people that think they want to stay single end up getting married, and the people that want to get married end up staying single. So it depends on what happens in a person's life and who they meet. So let's start off with chemistry. Chemistry is any of that butterflies you get in your stomach. It's the spark you feel when you meet someone. Chemistry happens pretty quick. This is the physical attraction chemistry that I'm talking about. You could get a racing heart. You just feel like you're drawn to the other person. It's exciting, but it's also very deceptive because you could have chemistry with somebody and not be fully attracted to them because you don't have a connection. And the connection is what comes later typically. Chemistry is more of a feeling that you get when you first meet someone. It's instant. It's like instant gratification. It fades quickly as well. So people that have chemistry, they may not be able to date. They might do a hookup thing because they had such strong chemistry, but then they get to know each other and they don't really like each other. So chemistry is something that will fade, and so just don't expect it to last forever. And it may last forever if you have a really strong connection, but if it's just chemistry, probably not. And if you have someone that you meet at a party and you just immediately are drawn to them, that's full chemistry. Lust is purely physical. So when people have lust, it's part of chemistry. It's when they're physically drawn to someone, but they may not like their intellect, or they may not like their emotions, or they may not like their personality. Lust is complete chemistry related to physical appearance. Someone could lust after someone saying, I want you right now. It's usually hormonal. So if someone is really driven to lust after someone, it's more of a hormonal drive. And it doesn't really matter what age you are, because you can have lust at any age. And sometimes people in their older ages have a lot of lust for someone. So it does not matter what your age is at all. And it doesn't require any compatibility. You may not like talking to the person, but you want to have sex with them. And you lust after them. You see their body and you want to have sex with them. So that's what lust is. But it does require access if you're going to do anything. So remember that. But it is definitely very hormonal driven. And then there's attraction. And attraction it's a broader. And these days we're also talking alignment. So we're going to talk attraction first, and then we're going to go into what is full on alignment. And attraction is important because that is to make sure that you are actually connecting with a person. Attraction has multiple different levels. So attraction can be physical. So physical attraction can be part of lust, right? Or chemistry. When you physically attract to someone, you're attracted to their body. You might be attracted to their smile or their looks in general. Sometimes people are attracted to tall men. Sometimes men are attracted to short women. Sometimes men are attracted to tall women. Sometimes men are attracted to thicker women or thinner women. And women have the same thing. Some women are attracted to muscular men. Some women are attracted to skinny men, super tall men. Some women are attracted to little dad bods. So physical attraction, it's a personal choice. And some people have different attractions, and you just never know what someone is attracted to until you meet a person. There's also emotional attraction. Emotional attraction makes you feel safe. You may meet a person, and I experienced this on a date once, where I met a person and he made me feel safe. I felt cared for and understood. We had a strong connection based off of previous childhood experiences. There was a connection there, I think, because of, history. Sometimes you have an emotional connection or an emotional attraction with someone because of the way you grew up, or maybe you went to the same college, or maybe you went to the same high school. Those things can give emotional attraction. All of those emotional attractions, they will lead you to stay with a person that maybe you don't physically lust after. Intellectual attraction is the next one. To me, it's called sapiosexual, if you're attracted to people that are intellectual. And I'm a pretty big sapiosexual. I like intellectual men. I like people that I can have a really deep conversation with. And some people don't care about that. Some people don't want a really deep conversation. So intellectual attraction depends on you. How much intellectual attraction do you need? Does their mind excite you? I mean, I can honestly say that intellectual attraction is on the same level for me as physical attraction. So I don't want somebody that's like completely out of shape, but at the same time, I also want someone that's intellectually stimulating me. And you may love their ideas, you may love their vision, you may love what their ambition is. All that stuff is intellectual. And intellectual attraction is something that you can't fix if they don't have it. You can try, but it just doesn't work. And then there's spiritual attraction. And spiritual attraction is their beliefs and their values, ethics, morals. Those are types of things that are spiritual attraction. Do they have beliefs in God? Do you align with them energetically? Because some people are more spiritual, like in the spiritual realm, and they believe in more natural things, and other people don't. And then you also have lifestyle attraction. And this is the way someone lives. So it could be finance. It could be the way they live financially. It could be just the fact that they travel a lot. It could be the fact that they don't have children, or they do have children, or they have pets, or they don't have pets. Does that match what you're looking for? It's really hard for someone that has dogs to meet someone that doesn't have dogs and mesh, because a lot of people that don't have dogs because they don't really enjoy animals. So that's another level of attraction. So it's physical, it's emotional, it's intellectual, it's spiritual, and it's lifestyle. And each one of these attraction levels, you will have to determine what's most important to you. Because you may find that you're emotionally attracted to someone, intellectually, spiritually, and lifestyle, but the physical just doesn't do it for you. Well, is that a trade-off that you can deal with? Or maybe you have everything, but they don't have the lifestyle. They don't make the kind of money you want. Is that a trade-off? So all of these things you have to determine. Now, if you can find somebody that has all five, that you're physically attracted to, that you're emotionally attracted to, that you're intellectually attracted to, spiritually attracted to, and lifestyle, and they meet all of your five, then you may want to go out with them a little bit and see if they might be a really good possible fit. Because if you can find somebody with all five, then you just have to determine is the attraction enough to want to continue this as a relationship? Then we have connection. So connection happens after the attraction. Sometimes you can connect with a person on the first date. It's not like you have to wait for the attraction to occur. Some people say, or for the connection to occur. You may be attracted to someone physically on a date, but yet you connect deeply just by having deep conversations. Over time, connections tend to grow, but you have to date and see if the connections will grow. More about alignment of values and also what direction they're like. If you're a growth-minded person, you're not really going to connect well with a person that's not. A lot of times we as women will overlook the fact that there's not a connection because it feels like everything else is aligned. But if you don't have a deep connection on your important issues, it will cause problems later. People's life direction matters. So if you're a growth-minded person and you're gonna bring a person that's a non-growth-minded person into a relationship with you, it's gonna cause a power struggle. It's gonna cause issues because they're not gonna want to grow when you do. Now there's a struggle. Just remember that. And you have to trust and respect each other. When you don't have a connection on, for instance, intellectual issues, is there going to be respect there? Are you going to be able to get emotionally intimate with somebody that you don't respect intellectually? You have to remember that. There are issues around connection. Now, connection tends to happen farther along, but it can happen on the first date. If you can find someone you can deeply connect with, that's a really good sign. Connection also doesn't fade over time. When you connect with somebody, you feel like you're at home. When you connect with somebody, you feel like they might be the one. They might not be, but they could possibly be the one. The question is, are you ready for them? Because a lot of people will go on dates and think they're just going to date for a while, and they get a connection with somebody and it scares them. And they run away from it because a lot of people may not be ready. When you meet somebody that you connect with, that's a possible future partner. So remember, connection is only good if you're actually ready for it. Connection doesn't fade with time, though. It's not like lust. It's not like surface level chemistry. It just grows stronger and stronger the longer you date someone. It's going to feel like home. It's going to feel safe. It's going to feel peaceful. That's what the amazing part is. And I think that's what we all want. If we're honest with ourselves, even the people out there that are out there just doing hookups, if they found someone that they could really connect with, and they felt safe, and they felt like home, and they felt at peace, that's what everybody wants. Even the people that say they're F-boys or F-girls or whatever they are, even those people, if they could find that type of connection. But in order to find that connection, you also have to be ready for it. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be open to it. So people do confuse differences between sparks instead of stability. It's a societal confusion. We lust over people. We have chemistry, but that's just in the beginning. It can blind us to red flags when you have too much lust for someone. I recommend not rushing into having sex. Just take your time. Most relationships that start purely from lust, they crash and burn, and it's ugly because there was no deep connection in the first place. To have a true connection, you've got to feel calm, not chaotic. The person needs to be consistent and disciplined with you like they are in everything in their life. If they're not, it's chaotic. Most people make the mistake that calmness is a lack of passion, but calmness is actually what calms your spirit. It gives you safety. It gives you peace. It lets you feel like you're home. And you need that. You need the consistency and you need the calmness. But you should wait to sleep with the person. And the reason why is, especially if you want to date the person more than once or twice. Because if you roll into bed with them on the first or second date, what else are they going to need you for? That turns more into a sex friend instead of a connection. And it may just be a one-time sex friend. If you really like the person, hold back. Don't sleep with them right away. See if there is a true connection. If you want to turn them into a friends with benefits later because there's no true connection, fine. But if you feel strongly that there could be a connection, don't sleep with the person. Heck, some people say not even to give them a kiss on the first date. You should just give them a hug. If you feel deeply that there's something there, don't move fast. Take your time. Don't jump into bed with someone quickly because it definitely makes you ignore red flags. If you can actually see if you're connected with the person and there's no red flags, wow, that's a true deep connection. That's someone you're going to really want to be with. Once intimacy happens, there's hormones that get kicked off in the body. It's called oxytocin and dopamine, and it kicks in and it makes it really hard to disconnect from someone if they're not a good fit. Keep physical intimacy at bay. It should be a reward after you've built trust anyway. Honestly, I think people jump into bed, and with all the STDs out there, you got to be careful who you're sleeping with anyway. Let's just take a break. Let's calm down. Let's see if there's actually a true connection. Then you don't have to worry about getting your heart broken. The more you get to know someone, the more layers of attraction that you're going to find as well. It's either going to strengthen it or it's going to completely disappear. I think you should wait 3 months. I think it should be 3 months from the time you meet someone to be intimate with someone, especially if you like them. Now, if this is going to be some other type of arrangement, situationship, or friends with benefits, that's a different story. But if you want to see if this is a right fit, you should be sleeping with someone for before 3 months. And some people say wait until you're engaged. Some people say wait till you're married. I think 3 months is good. I personally wouldn't marry someone unless I knew that we were sexually compatible as well. But yeah, 3 months, that's not too long to wait. Because the funny thing is a lot of people won't make it to 3 months. Within a month, you see all their red flags and you're like, okay, moving on. Realize that you're going to go through a lot more people this way, but that's good. Because if you didn't and you got involved in a relationship, you could go 6, 9 months with somebody that's not right just because you have all the oxytocin going around. So if you wait to get intimate with someone and for 3 months and you've got their personality and you really like their personality, then when you're intimate with them, it's not going to have you ignore the red flags. Now, keep your wits about you still, because you could still ignore red flags, but try not to. Quick intimacy, it does trap people into situationships. A lot of times men will also ghost you after you sleep with them. Realize that that might very well happen. Or women ghost men after they sleep together. It's not just a male thing. So the age of ghosting, I really think is so disrespectful to the other side. I don't believe in it. If someone doesn't want to be with me, they should just tell me. If someone doesn't like you, why ghost? So if you're contacting someone and they just stop talking to you and they ghost you, it's ridiculous at this point. How old are we? I mean, we're in our 40s, 50s, 60s. We're mature adults, and a lot of us are behaving like we're toddlers, or like we got in a fight on a playground and somebody hurt my feelings, so I'm just not going to talk to them anymore. It's ridiculous at this point. So let's go back to attraction. So attraction evolves. It starts physical, but over time it grows deeper into emotional connections and intellectual attraction if there is compatibility there. So after a month, I think you'll start to see whether that attraction is growing into something more. And the more you get to know someone, the more layers of attraction that exist. It either strengthens it or it dissipates. A beautiful face can become unattractive once you get to know someone, especially if they disrespect you. On the other hand, a person who seemed average or a little chunky or a little bit overweight may become the most beautiful person in the world to you once you get to know their personality, because it matters what's on the inside. It truly does. And I think a lot of times people look for the outside and they overlook the inside. And when you find someone that's got a true, pure heart, someone that loves deeply, someone that cares for you as much as they care for themselves, that's when you find a true attraction and a true partner. And people ignore that sometimes. And it's not just men that go for the best looking women and forget about what's inside. Sometimes women do too. And they look for the best looking men or the man that's got the best job. And they forget that you need a guy that's a good quality person. A person that's got a good soul that's going to take care of you, not just ignore you. So just remember that. Attraction does matter about the personality of the person, and make sure that you know that however they are deep, it does matter. Attraction is dynamic. The connection solidifies over long-term love. So it's dynamic. And then once you know that you found the one, here's some things that you should realize. You should feel safe with them. Men and women should feel safe. So if you found your one and they're only talking to you once a week and that doesn't make you feel safe, it's not your one. If you find your one and you're nervous being around them alone, that's not your one. So your number one thing is the person you're going to be with should make you feel safe. They should respect you, they should respect your boundaries, and they should respect your opinions. So remember, I think we had a podcast a week ago that talked about respect is one of the number one things you need to look for in any relationship. And then attention. Attention is so important. If they're not giving you the correct attention that you need, then you're going to not want to stay in the relationship. And then the last one is security. So if they're not giving you the security you want, why are you there? Security is not just financial, it's also safety. Safety is such a big thing, ladies. The relationship should feel reciprocal. What you give, they should give back to you. Maybe not in the same exact way, but in other ways. Both people have to be invested. It can't just be one-sided. You have to feel attracted and connected at the same time. This is chemistry, but also trust. Trust comes with a depth and a shared vision in what you want to do in life. You can be yourself fully without fear of judgment with someone that you're really connected with. Conflict just goes away. You probably have similar argumentative styles. You probably don't yell at your partner. When you connect like this, conflict just melts away. It's much easier to resolve arguments. You got to be consistent. That's That's the big theme of the year, I think, is consistency. Their words and actions, they need to line up. It can't just be said and then never gets fixed. That's the most important thing when you feel peaceful and not chaotic. Chemistry is fun. I mean, it's very powerful to lust after someone for a while, but attraction is multi-layered and connection is the deepest level you can feel. Part of connection is alignment. Alignment is very important. That means that you've got 4 or 5 areas that you're just really connecting and really vibing on. It's when two people's values, lifestyles, goals, maybe the timing in their lives, because it may be sometimes you meet a person and that's your soulmate, but they're not ready to receive or they're not ready to be in your life right now. Maybe they wanted to go work out a little bit more and get better shape. Maybe they still need to heal mentally. Maybe they're just going through a bunch of stuff. So without alignment, even the strongest chemistry or attraction eventually falls apart. Alignment means that you just feel so connected and at home with this person. So the questions you need to ask yourself about alignment is, do I value the same things, and is my moral compass the same as the partner I want to be with? If you both view things honestly, is loyalty and integrity important to you? Some people it is, some people it's not. Make a list of 5 things and rate them, in order with your partner to see if there's a deeper connection. Because don't ask, because a lot of times people are deceptive. When they write it down, they seem to be a little bit more truthful. If one value from the family values freedom and one person in the family values independence, you're going to butt heads over that. So just realize that. Your lifestyle alignment. Do you like to sleep in? Does the other person wake up early? Are there day-to-day things that have to get done that you expect each other to do? You may want to put together a chart like a lot of people do with their kids to make sure things are aligned and taken care of in the household. Do your life goals align? Sometimes people want to go for different positions. Does it align with what you're looking for? Then there's the emotional alignment. Again, if you have both equally capable of giving and receiving love, you're going to have some emotional alignment. I think a lot of people they say they want a relationship, but then when they go out, they get too scared and they walk away. That's somebody that's not emotionally ready. It's somebody that's not emotionally aligned. The timing matters because you could be trying to date someone that's a year out or 2 years out of a marriage, and they're still a little messed up. If that happens, it's going to be really hard to, align with them because the timing's just not right for them. I've seen this with so many different guys. They act like they're ready to date, but they're not. They're not ready at all. They throw up all their issues on you, and it's just not a good alignment. But people do confuse alignment with chemistry, but it's not. Alignment is definitely not chemistry. Just remember that. And then while you're waiting, okay, because a lot of times you need to wait for someone that's really going to align for you. Going into intimacy with anyone too soon is going to kill any possible alignment you have. Because if you align with somebody or you think you do, might be the person that you have. Again, a good minimum time frame is 3 months. Make sure if their words match their actions. Do your values overlap? Are you both moving towards similar future? Those are important things with anyone you align with. Attraction evolves into alignment sometimes as well. Because you could have a physical attraction that involves into alignment because maybe you both work out together and that's an alignment. You were initially attracted to this growth-minded person, they become a magnet and therefore you align. Once you've figured all of this out and all the things you want, then you need to know when you found your person. It feels like you're at home. It feels safe. It feels very comfortable. There shouldn't be any red flags. It should inspire you to grow. There's consistency and respect. Don't confuse consistency and respect for, a lack of attraction, because consistency and respect just means that you're giving the person across from you the level of respect that they deserve. But you do need to voice your value, your visions, your opinions, and then you can feel safe and desired and have deep peace. Just wanted to wrap up today. I wanted to tell you the different things that are related to alignment and why that's your ultimate goal, not just a connection, but a true alignment. And I do hope that everyone finds their one, and they're one that is really good for them to help them grow. This is Diva Mia. I hope you've had a wonderful week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment. We love hearing from you. Visit thedivadetails.com to connect. See you next week for more.
Diva Details podcast and website are intended solely for informational and entertainment purposes. The content provided does not constitute professional, medical, financial, or legal advice. We are not licensed medical practitioners, financial advisors, or legal professionals. Always consult with a qualified healthcare provider for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Any financial topics discussed are based on personal opinions and experience and should not be considered professional advice. The content provided does not constitute legal advice. The Diva Details and its affiliate contributors and guests are not liable for any losses or damages arising from the use of our content. The opinions expressed in the podcast are solely those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of any affiliated organization, sponsors, or partner. All facts discussed in the podcast are researched and accurate to the best of our knowledge at the time of recording. Information may change over time. No guarantees are made regarding the accuracy, completeness, or reliability of any statements or opinions presented. It is the responsibility of the listener to verify any and all facts that may influence their decision. This podcast is for information and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered professional advice.